Subscribe to LearnCap and hit the bell icon to get notified.
The next discussion is the change in the registration process and Aadhaar authentication. Friends, it is generally observed that students are facing difficulty in understanding this concept. Friends, please take it from me. It is a very simple concept. All that you need to know is you need to have the logical sequence, the logical flow in mind. It is going to be very simple. Friends, I request your kind attention and continuous focus for the next 1 hour or so. Whatever we are going to discuss, I'm sure you will be able to understand it in a very simple manner. Whatever discussion which we are going to have, at the end we are again going to summarize it so that for the purpose of examination you are crystal clear with the concepts. So now friends, before proceeding to the change which has happened, let's have a brief discussion about Aadhaar authentication. Now friends, section 25 subsection 6b, subsection 6c and subsection 6d speaks about Aadhaar authentication. That means if any person wants to obtain registration, he needs to get his Aadhaar number authenticated. Friends, please be very careful. It doesn't tell you that if any person wants registration, he needs to have an Aadhaar number. That is not the provision. The provision tells you if any person wants to obtain registration, he needs to get his Aadhaar authenticated. There is a difference between holding an Aadhaar number and getting your Aadhaar number authenticated. The requirement of the section is not holding an Aadhaar number. The requirement of the section is getting your Aadhaar number authenticated. What is the process of authentication? That also has been prescribed, but have a broad idea in your mind that for the purpose of obtaining registration, what is mandatory? Is Aadhaar number mandatory? The answer is no. It is authentication of Aadhaar number is mandatory for the purpose of obtaining a registration. So friends, what are the sections for this? The sections are 25(6)(a), 25(6)(b), 25(6)(c), 25(6)(d). Friends, we are not discussing about amendment. There is no amendment in as far as these sections is concerned. We are just building a base so that we are able to appreciate the amendment in a better manner. So now friends, what is 25(6)(a)? 25(6)(a) is just a transitional provision. Friends, please understand, this Aadhaar authentication was not there from the beginning. It came only for your last attempt. For your examination is concerned, this amendment was there in the last attempt. So now friends, as regards as those persons, this 25(6)(a), before this section 25(6)(a) coming into force, Aadhaar authentication was not mandatory. So therefore, there were already persons who obtained registration without authenticating their Aadhaar. Should they also get their Aadhaar authenticated in order to be eligible to continue with their registration? The answer is yes. So that is about 25(6)(a). Aadhaar authentication for existing registered persons. Friends, this is only a transitional provision. It is not at all important from examination point of view, because all those persons who have obtained registration prior to 25(6)(a) coming into force, they also need to get their Aadhaar authenticated. And of course, all those persons who are going to obtain a new registration, for them you have 25(6)(b) and 25(6)(c). 25(6)(b) is for individual. If an individual wants to obtain a registration under GST law, he has to get his Aadhaar authenticated. Now friends, is it a case where only individuals apply for GST registration? The answer is no. You could have firm, you could have a body corporate, you could have a trust, you could have an association of persons. They also could apply for a GST registration. So friends, in case of non-individuals, the authorized persons would have to get their Aadhaar authenticated. Who are those authorized persons? We are not going into this because we are only going to discuss the change aspect. We are only building a base by reviewing 25(6)(a), 6b, 6c and 6d. So friends, 25(6)(b) and 25(6)(c), it tells about if an individual wants to obtain a new registration, he has to get his Aadhaar authenticated. This is 25(6)(b). If a non-individual wants to obtain a GST registration, he has to get his Aadhaar authenticated. This is 25(6)(c). Now friends, there could be certain cases where the government tells that registration could be granted to them without even getting their Aadhaar authenticated. The reason could be obvious. Let's say for example, there's a person who's coming to India as a non-resident taxable person. He wants to apply for a GST registration in the capacity of a non-resident taxable person. Now friends, he is not a citizen of India. Would he have an Aadhaar number? The answer is no. He would not be having, or he would not be holding an Aadhaar number. So therefore friends, For such type of persons, the government has relaxed from the provisions of authenticating their Aadhaar. So friends, in 2560, we are not going into detail, we are just taking an example that there could be certain persons who are not required to get Aadhaar authentication for the purpose of obtaining registration. So in 2560, relaxations from 6A, 6B and 6C. In 2560, you have relaxations from 25.6A, 6B and 6C. So friends, have a clear picture in your mind as regards as 25.6B is concerned. Individuals should get their Aadhaar authenticated for the purpose of obtaining a new registration under GST. For the purpose of 25.6C, non-individuals, those applicants who are non-individuals, they are authorized persons needs to get their Aadhaar authenticated for the purpose of obtaining registration under GST. 2560, the government can notify certain class of persons who are not required to get their Aadhaar authenticated, and even without that, they would be in a position to obtain a new registration under GST law. Now friends, is it a case that only a person who is having an Aadhaar number and who gets his Aadhaar authenticated, only that person could do business in India? Because 25.6B, 6C tells you, if you want to obtain a new registration, you have to get your Aadhaar authenticated, which means that if I do not have an Aadhaar number, I naturally cannot get it authenticated, and I naturally cannot apply for registration. And if I cannot apply for GST registration in India, and if my turnover is exceeding the threshold, which means I cannot do business at all. Is it the case? The answer is there could be so many practical cases where a person is either not having an Aadhaar number or he is having an Aadhaar number but is not able to authenticate it for various reasons. Does it mean that they cannot do business in the country? The answer is no. So should the government provide? See, what is the purpose of authenticating the Aadhaar? The purpose of authenticating the Aadhaar is to vouch the genuinity of the applicant. It is to verify the genuineness of the applicant, whether this person is a genuine person or not. Because there have been so many input tax credit frauds which you would have read day in and day out in newspapers. So as a measure to curb those tax evasions, the government has come out with a measure, with a process so that at least the applicant's identity is being verified. So now friends, the purpose of authenticating Aadhaar is to vouch the identity of the applicant. So now friends, if an applicant is not having an Aadhaar number or if he is not in a position to authenticate he is having an Aadhaar number. But friends, please understand the requirement of the section 6B and 6C, subsection 6B and 6C is not having an Aadhaar number, it is authenticating the Aadhaar. So therefore friends, there could be a case where a person is either not having an Aadhaar number or he is having an Aadhaar number but is not able to authenticate it for various reasons. So friends, does it mean they cannot do business in India? The answer is no. So should the government provide some alternate means where the authenticity of the applicant can be vouched for? The answer is yes. So friends, there are alternative means which have been provided that if you want to apply for a new registration and if you are not in a position to authenticate your Aadhaar for two reasons. Either you do not have an Aadhaar number at all or you have an Aadhaar number but you are not able to authenticate it. In those cases, we will provide you alternative means. Through alternative means, the government will vouch your identity. And friends, what is that alternative means? The alternative means is physical verification of premises in the presence of the said person. The government is going to come before granting the registration to you. Before granting the registration to you, the proper officer will come to your premises. He would physically verify the premises in the presence of the applicant, and only thereafter registration is going to be provided to you. So friends, are there any exceptions to Aadhaar authentication? The answer is yes. One, there is an exemption from Aadhaar authentication as we have discussed 25.6D. Section 25.6D, certain notified persons are exempted from authenticating their Aadhaar. One example what we have seen is a person who is not a citizen of India. If he wants to obtain registration, he need not get his Aadhaar authenticated because naturally he would not be having an Aadhaar number. The next one is alternate means. That means if a person is not having an Aadhaar number, he is not covered by this notification 17/2020, which means that he is required to authenticate his Aadhaar. He is not covered under 25.6D. He is not exempted from authenticating his Aadhaar. So friends, now in this case, a person is either not having an Aadhaar number or he is having but is not in a position to authenticate his Aadhaar number. For him, alternative means is being provided in rule number 9 and rule number 25. What is this alternative means? It is physical inspection of premises, physical verification of premises in the presence of the said person. So friends, this is the brief background which you need to have in mind. Now we are going to start and discuss the change aspect. So friends, the alternative means is being provided in rule number 9 and rule number 25. Now friends, before we go to that, let's have a brief understanding as to what is the process to authenticate the Aadhaar. You have to get your Aadhaar authenticated so that you are in a position to obtain a GST registration. Of course, alternative means are provided, but if you do not want to go into alternative means, that means if you do not want a physical inspection of your premises, you want to obtain a registration by authenticating your Aadhaar, what is the procedure? So friends, the procedure is an authentication link, and link for authenticating the Aadhaar is going to be shared on the GST registered mobile number and email IDs of the promoter, partner or authorized signatory. So whoever is authorized person, whoever Aadhaar needs to be authenticated, his mobile number which is registered on the GST portal, to him an authentication link is going to be shared. Now friends, when this person is going to click the link, a screen will appear wherein he will have to enter his Aadhaar number. Now friends, when he is going to enter his Aadhaar number, this particular link at the back end, this particular page at the back end is going to verify this Aadhaar number, is going to match this Aadhaar number with the Aadhaar database. Now friends, currently you are punching the details in the GST database. This at the back end is going to verify, cross confirm the credentials with the Aadhaar database. Now friends, when this cross confirmation is going to be there, an OTP is going to go to the registered mobile number and registered email ID which is registered in the Aadhaar database. So in the Aadhaar database, for this particular Aadhaar number, whatever is the mobile number and email ID which is given, an OTP is going to be there. The moment this OTP is punched on the screen, the Aadhaar stands authenticated. It is a very simple process friends. Authentication link will be shared to which mobile number and email ID? To that mobile number and email ID which is given in the GST portal. And a screen will appear, you will have to punch in the Aadhaar number. At the back end, credentials will be cross confirmed with the Aadhaar database. From therein, an OTP will go to the mobile number which is registered in the Aadhaar database. Once you punch in the OTP, your Aadhaar stands authenticated. So friends, this is the process of authentication of Aadhaar. You need to bear this in mind so that it will be easy for you when we are going to discuss the change aspect. So friends, so far what we have discussed, step by step, at various places we'll stop and we'll conclude what we have discussed. So friends, so far what we have discussed is if a person wants to obtain a new registration in India, a new registration under GST, he has to authenticate his Aadhaar number. Now friends, there could be a cases where a person is not having an Aadhaar number, or if he is not able to authenticate his Aadhaar number. In those cases, alternative means are provided to him. What are the alternative means? It is physical inspection of premises before granting the registration. And friends, of course, there are certain persons who are notified and who are exempted from authenticating their Aadhaar. For them, they neither have to get their Aadhaar authenticated, nor there is going to be any physical inspection of premises before granting the registration to those persons. Friends, please understand, physical inspection of premises prior to grant of registration is applicable to only those who are required to get their Aadhaar authenticated and who are not getting it done. For those who are exempted from Aadhaar authentication, physical inspection will not happen prior to grant of registration. So friends, to sum up, there can be cases where a person who wants to obtain GST registration, case number 1, he opts for Aadhaar authentication. I repeat, a person who wants to obtain a GST registration and who is required to get his Aadhaar authenticated. Option number 1, he is opting for Aadhaar authentication. That means he tells, yes, I have an Aadhaar number, I want to authenticate this for the purpose of obtaining registration. I do not want any physical inspection in my premises. So therefore, a person who wants to obtain a GST registration and is opting for Aadhaar authentication. Agreed? Yes. Now, when he is opting for Aadhaar authentication, the Aadhaar authentication might be successful, the Aadhaar authentication may fail. Please understand friends, there is again difference between this. Let's suppose it's me. I want to obtain a new registration. when I want to obtain a registration, I have an Aadhaar number and I do not want a physical inspection of my premises. I'm very clear with that. So therefore, I opt to authenticate my Aadhaar. So whenever I'm going to make a new registration application, the application form would ask me, REG01 would ask me, do you want to get your Aadhaar authenticated? If I say yes, then I would be getting a link wherein I can authenticate my Aadhaar. If I say no, I would not be getting any link, but I would be getting an officer in my premises who is going to come and physically verify it, and only thereafter registration is going to be granted to me. So friends, coming back to our discussion, let's suppose if I am a person who wants to obtain a GST registration. Now, I am having an Aadhaar number and I also want to authenticate it. So I say a person has opted for Aadhaar authentication and thereafter I receive a link and the authentication is successful. Aadhaar is validated. This could be possibility number 1. Possibility number 2. I am a person who wants to obtain a GST registration. I do have an Aadhaar number. I want to authenticate it. I opt for Aadhaar authentication. A link comes to my mobile number and mail ID as well. But however friends, on the link when I click, I enter my Aadhaar number, my Aadhaar is not getting authenticated for various reasons. Maybe the reason is the details which is there in the GST database and the details which are available in the Aadhaar database are not matching, which warrants an amendment either of my Aadhaar number or say which warrants an amendment either of my PAN number. There are certain mismatches between the data which have been fed in the Aadhaar database and in the GST database. In this case, Aadhaar will not get authenticated. Reason number 2, I opt for Aadhaar authentication. Friends, please understand, to which mobile number will I get a link for authenticating the Aadhaar? I would get a link to that particular mobile number which is registered in the GST portal. But friends, for the purpose of authenticating it, when I click the link and enter the Aadhaar number, OTP would go to that mobile number which is registered in the Aadhaar database. Let's suppose that mobile number I am no longer having. I do not receive an OTP at all. Did I opt for Aadhaar authentication? Yes. Did I receive a link? Yes. Did I successfully authenticate my Aadhaar? The answer is no. I am not in a position to authenticate my Aadhaar. Did I opt for it? Yes. Scenario number 2. Person opted for Aadhaar authentication, but Aadhaar authentication fails. Scenario number 3. I did not opt for Aadhaar authentication at all. I do not have an Aadhaar number. So therefore, and also I am not exempted from Aadhaar authentication. I am not covered by 2560. I am required to authenticate my Aadhaar before obtaining registration, but I do not have an Aadhaar number. So therefore, in the registration form, when the question is being asked to me, do I want to authenticate my Aadhaar? I simply say no. So therefore, friends, there could be 3 scenarios when a person is applying for a new registration. Please understand it very carefully. Scenario number 1, a person is opting for Aadhaar authentication and is successful. Scenario number 2, a person is opting for Aadhaar authentication and Aadhaar authentication fails. Scenario number 3, a person did not opt for Aadhaar authentication at all. Now friends, can you visualize and tell me, out of these 3 scenarios, in which of the scenarios will physical verification come prior to grant of registration? Which means in which of the scenarios will alternative means be offered? Naturally, in scenario number 2 and scenario number 3, registration would be granted to me only after physically verifying the premises in my presence. Friends, please understand, in scenario number 2, even though I opted for Aadhaar authentication, but Aadhaar authentication fails. So therefore, even in scenario number 2, registration would be granted to me only by alternatively vouching my identity, only by physically verifying the premises in my presence. Only thereafter registration is going to be granted to me. By now, we are clear in our mind. Whenever a person has to apply for a new registration, there could be 3 possible scenarios. Aadhaar authentication opted and successful, Aadhaar authentication opted and failed, Aadhaar authentication not opted at all. Are we clear? Fine. Now friends, this is rule number 9 prior to amendment. This is rule number 9 prior to amendment. Let's have a look. Provided that where a person other than a person who is notified under 25(6)(d). What is 25(6)(d)? Those persons who are exempted from doing their Aadhaar authentication. So provided that where a person other than a person who is notified under section 2560 fails to undergo authentication of Aadhaar number, the registration shall be granted only after physical verification of principal place of business in the presence of said person. The rest story we'll see later on. So friends, what did this proviso to rule number 9 tell you? Prior to amendment. Prior to amendment, it told you when will physical verification happen? Physical verification will happen only when a person fails to undergo authentication of Aadhaar number. Now friends, in which manner it is going to happen? It is going to happen in the manner which is provided under rule number 25. Now friends, the manner which is provided in rule number 25, let's have a brief look at rule number 25. It tells you where a proper officer is satisfied that the physical verification of place of business is required to be done due to failure of Aadhaar authentication before grant of registration or any other reason after grant of registration. Please understand friends, as we already discussed or as you should already be knowing it, that in case of physical verification of premises, if Aadhaar authentication is not done, in those cases registration would be granted only after doing physical verification of premises. For any other reason, that means Aadhaar is authenticated, still if the officer wants to physically inspect the premises, he can do so only after granting the registration and not before granting the registration. So now friends, rule number 25 also told you that if a person physical inspection is required due to what reason? Due to failure of authentication of Aadhaar. Due to failure of authentication of Aadhaar before grant of registration, physical inspection is going to be done. Now friends, a question arose. A question arose that according to rule number 9 and rule number 25, physical verification is required only when a person fails to undergo authentication of Aadhaar. Only when a person fails to undergo authentication of Aadhaar. There arose a confusion. What if a person has not opted for Aadhaar authentication at all? Does it mean that registration would be given to him even without physically verifying his premises? I repeat, what if a person has not opted for Aadhaar authentication at all? In those cases, will the registration be granted to him without even vouching his identity, without physically verifying his premises? Why am I saying so? I am saying so because rule number 9 and rule number 25 tells you that physical verification is required only when a person is failing to undergo authentication of Aadhaar number. Please understand there is a difference between opted and failed to undergo authentication and not opted at all. Please understand these three things which we have studied. Now we have seen that in reverse sequence. Opted and authenticated, opted and failed, not opted at all. Now in these cases friends, opted and failed and not opted at all, these two are different scenarios. These two are different scenarios. I opt and Aadhaar authentication fails. I receive the link but I am not able to authenticate my Aadhaar. Not opted at all. In the registration form itself I mentioned, let that fellow come. I do not want to get my Aadhaar authenticated. Let the physical inspection happen. I have chosen not opted at all. Now friends, technically speaking, when I say it is not opted at all, according to rule 9, can physical inspection of my premises happen? According to rule number 25, can physical inspection of my premises happen before granting the registration? There was a slight confusion in this area. The confusion was the wordings were only failure to Aadhaar authentication. It did not cover not opted for Aadhaar authentication at all. It did not cover not opted for Aadhaar authentication at all. Friends, please understand, only a student who has taken admission in a school, only for him it would be either present or absent. For a person or for a student who has not at all taken admission in a school, can you say he is absent from the school? The answer is no. If you want to call a child absent from the school, he should first be enrolled in the school. He should first take admission in the school and only then you can say either he is present or he is absent. For a person or for a student or for a child who has not at all taken admission in the school, can you say he is absent from the school? Similarly friends, only when a person has opted for Aadhaar authentication, only then comes the question of whether Aadhaar authentication is successful or whether Aadhaar authentication is failure. For a person who is not at all opted for Aadhaar authentication, how can you say that for him Aadhaar authentication has failed? So friends, Now the difference is here, earlier rule number 9 and rule number 25, it covered only which scenario where a person has opted and it has failed. For a person who has not opted at all, technically speaking, rule number 9 and rule number 25 did not cover this scenario. So therefore, this interpretation was leading, or it was bypassing the intention of the government, where for a person, whether his Aadhaar authentication is failed or he does not opt for Aadhaar authentication, the government did want to vouch his identity by physically verifying the premises. So therefore, the amendment, friends, now the amendment tells you rule number 9, provided that where a person other than a person notified under 6D fails to undergo authentication of Aadhaar number or does not opt for authentication of Aadhaar number. So friends, this possibility has been included over here. So when you opt and it is failure, or you do not opt to get Aadhaar authenticated at all, in both these cases, registration would be granted to you only after physically verifying your premises. Similar amendment in rule number 25 as well, where the PO is satisfied that the physical verification of the place of business of a person is required due to failure of Aadhaar authentication or not opting for Aadhaar authentication before grant of registration. So this physical inspection will happen before grant of registration. So friends, I am sure by now you are clear with this rule number 9 and rule number 25. It did not contain the wordings does not opt for authentication of Aadhaar number, which led to absurd interpretation which was against the intention of the government. So therefore, this amendment in rule number 9 and rule number 25. The second amendment in the very same rule number 9. Now friends, we know that if a person is failing to get his Aadhaar authenticated, or if it does not opt for authentication of Aadhaar number, physical inspection needs to be carried out. Only thereafter, registration is going to be granted to him. But friends, what is the time limit? By when should the proper officer come and physically verify his premises? Because please understand here, only after physically verifying the premises, the registration is going to be granted to him. So friends, is there any time limit within which the officer should come and physically verify the premises? The answer is yes, there is a time limit. There is a change in that time limit. The time limit within which the officer has to come physically verify the premises, in which cases either failure to get Aadhaar authenticated or not opted for Aadhaar authentication at all. What is the time limit? Now friends, prior to amendment, what was the time limit? It was after physical verification of the principal place of business in the presence of the said person, not later than 60 days from the date of application. So good amount of 60 days was given. This scenario we are discussing prior to amendment. Either my Aadhaar authentication failed or I did not opt for Aadhaar authentication. In either of these cases, physical verification is going to happen. What is the outer time limit? Within 60 days from the date of application, that proper officer is going to come, physically inspect my premises. Only thereafter, the registration is going to be granted to me. So now friends, this time limit, what is the change? The change is this time limit of 60 days has been reduced. Is it reduced directly? The answer is no. There is an indirect impact on this 60 days. There is an indirect impact on this 60 days. Now the officer is not having 60 days with him to come and physically verify the premises. In which cases? In cases of failure to authenticate Aadhaar or in cases where Aadhaar authentication is not opted at all. The officer has not got 60 days. What is the fresh time limit which the officer has got? That we are going to discuss now. Now friends, before discussing the fresh time limit, since it is an indirect time limit which is given to the officer to come and physically verify the premises, to understand that indirect time limit, first we have to directly understand one more concept. The concept is, friends, whenever a person applies for registration, there could be two possibilities. One, he makes an application. That application is acknowledged at the common portal. Now, option number 1, a person makes an application. That application is being acknowledged at the common portal. And if everything is perfect, everything is fine, straight away the application is approved, which means that the GST registration is being granted. Possibility number 2, application is being made, it is being acknowledged. The officer has got certain queries. He wants additional clarification, information, documents. He would issue a show cause notice stating that these documents are missing. Kindly provide these documents. Otherwise, your application for registration will be rejected. So friends, he would give a show cause notice if he requires CID, clarification information documents. You will have to furnish a reply. You have to, whatever that person is requiring, you will have to furnish a reply. You have to provide those clarification information documents. Thereafter, if he is satisfied with your reply, he would approve the application for registration. If he is not satisfied with your reply, he would give a rejection order. Whatever application you have made for registration, he would reject it. So friends, there could be these two possibilities which are there. And friends, in both of these possibilities, the time limits are fixed. The officer has to react within the given time. The time limits are fixed. In the first case, that means when an application is being made, if the officer is satisfied, he has to give an approval. If the application is being made, if the officer is not satisfied, he has to give a show cause notice. Two ways. You make an application, that person approves it. You make an application, that person is not satisfied, certain CID is required, he gives you a show cause notice. There is a strict time limit within which he has to serve a show cause notice to you. There is a strict time limit within which he has to serve a show cause notice to you in case he requires CID. If he doesn't serve a show cause notice within the defined time limit, within the reaction time which is given to him, which means that your application is deemed to be approved. Your application is deemed to be approved. So now friends, an application, either approval will come or a show cause notice will come. If show cause notice is not coming within the defined time limits, it is deemed to be approved. Thereafter, you will have to make a reply. You also have got strict time limits within which you have to reply. If you do not make a reply within that, your application is cancelled, deemed to be cancelled. So you make a reply to him. After he receives the reply, he also has got strict time limits within which he has to act or within which he has to react after he receives your reply. He could either approve it or he rejects it. If he fails to take any action after receiving your reply within the defined time limits, in that case also the registration is deemed to be approved. So friends, please have this brief background in mind. The process is you make an application. If he is satisfied, it is approved. If it is not satisfied, he will give you a show cause notice. If he doesn't give a show cause notice within the time limit given to him, your application is deemed to be approved. You have to make a reply within the fixed time limits. After your reply is being given to him, if he is satisfied, he has to approve. If he is not satisfied, he has to reject. If he doesn't take any action, silently sits, the application is deemed to be approved. Friends, with this brief background, now the point which we were discussing is, when should the physical verification happen? Prior to amendment, it was not later than 60 days from the date of application. This 60 days has now been reduced, but it has been reduced indirectly. It has been reduced indirectly. The indirect amendment tells you that in a case where physical inspection is required, what are those cases? Either Aadhaar authentication fails or a person has not opted for Aadhaar authentication. The officer has to give you a show cause notice within 21 days. Which cases? In the cases of Aadhaar authentication fails or Aadhaar authentication is not opted, which in specific cases, the cases where physical inspection is required. In those cases, the officer has to give you a show cause notice within a period of 21 days from the date of submission of application. Otherwise, the registration is deemed to be granted, which indirectly means that the physical inspection needs to be completed within a period of 21 days from the date of submission of application. Within a period of 21 days from the date of submission of application, the physical inspection needs to be completed. Otherwise, registration is deemed to be granted. So friends, this is the change which has happened. Now, there are certain important aspects which we need to learn. What we just discussed? We just discussed that in case where Aadhaar authentication fails or Aadhaar authentication is not opted for, the officer has to give a show cause notice within a period of 21 days from the date of submission of application. Otherwise, the registration is deemed to be granted. Now friends, what is the date of submission of application has got a specific and a special definition for the purpose of registration, for the purpose of rule number 9. So now friends, here we go, have a look at the process. Friends, we have already discussed the change. What was the change that we had discussed? Earlier, the time limit was 60 days from the date of submission of application, within which the officer has to complete the physical inspection. And friends, please understand, earlier, if within a period of 60 days the officer did not complete the physical inspection, there was no provision which stated that the registration is deemed to be granted. There was no such provision which was going the prior to amendment, the provision was going against the assessee, because if the officer is not coming to your premises within a period of 60 days, there is no concept of deemed registration. But now friends, post amendment, two things. One, the time limit has reduced. The time limit has reduced, which means that an officer has to issue a show cause. If he is not satisfied, he has to issue a show cause notice. He has to issue a show cause notice within a period of 21 days from the date of submission of application. In which cases? In the cases where either Aadhaar authentication fails or Aadhaar authentication is not required. So friends, this is the change which has happened. Now let's have a look. REG 01, an application is being made. When should you make an application? Within 30 days of liable for registration. If you are a casual taxable person, 5 days prior to commencement of business. Now friends, the officer has to either approve your application or he has to serve show cause notice seeking CID, clarification information documents. Now friends, if Aadhaar authentication, please concentrate very, very carefully. If Aadhaar authentication is done or it is exempted, if Aadhaar authentication is done or it is exempted, the officer has to give you, if he is not satisfied, he has to give you a show cause notice within 3 working days of the date of submission of application. He has to give you a show cause notice if he is not satisfied. In which cases, if either Aadhaar authentication is done or it is exempted, he has to give you a show cause notice within a period of 3 working days of the date of submission of application. If he doesn't give you a show cause notice within this period of 3 days, within the reaction time which is given to him, your registration is deemed to be approved. No action is equal to deemed approval. If Aadhaar is not authenticated, 2 reasons, either not opted or opted but failed. Either it is not opted or it is opted but failed. In those cases, the officer has to give you, please understand, in those cases, the officer has to give you a show cause notice within a period of 21 days of date of submission of application, which means that within the period of 21 days, he has to complete the physical inspection. He has to complete the physical verification. If he doesn't do so, that means either he is not giving you a show cause notice or he is not approving your registration. In those cases, no action is equal to deemed approval. Now friends, one slight technical point over here. You can ask me, you could raise a question, where is it mentioned that physical verification has to be completed within a period of 21 days from the submission of application? Where is it mentioned? It is only mentioned that in case if Aadhaar authentication is failed or Aadhaar authentication is not opted, show cause notice to be given within a period of 21 days from the date of submission of application, or registration needs to be approved within a period of 21 days from the date of submission of application. Otherwise, application is deemed to be approved. Where is it mentioned that physical verification should be completed within this period? Friends, please understand the scenario. Now friends, the officer has got a reaction time limit of 21 days. The officer has got a reaction time limit of 21 days. Please follow this very, very carefully. This is in the entire discussion what we are having, this is the slight technical part which is there. Even if you do not understand this logically or understand this by way of interpreting it, nothing is going to affect your examination, but still I would insist you that you understand it. Now friends, here nowhere it is mentioned that physical verification to be completed within 21 days. All that is mentioned is within 21 days either approve or give a show cause notice. Now friends, please understand, for him to approve, should he not carry out the physical inspection? The answer is yes. For him to approve, I repeat, for him to approve, should he not carry out the physical verification? Answer is yes, because rule number 9 tells you, read along with rule number 25, if you want to grant him registration where the Aadhaar authentication is failed or Aadhaar authentication is not opted for, before granting registration, he should complete the physical verification. So if he wants to approve it, should he not carry out the physical inspection of premises if he wants to approve it? The answer is yes. So logically we got it that if the person has not opted for Aadhaar authentication or has failed to authenticate the Aadhaar, if he wants to approve it, he should do it within 21 days. And if he wants to approve it, he should also do the physical verification of premises, which means that physical verification of premises should happen within 21 days. Are we clear with this? The next question. The officer need not approve it. He has got 2 options. Either approve it or show a show cause notice. Now friends, For serving a show cause notice, what show cause notice would he serve? If he wants to serve a show cause notice, what show cause notice would he serve? He would serve a show cause notice for additional clarification, additional information and additional documents which are required. Now friends, let's suppose he is not carrying out a physical inspection of premises. Without carrying a physical inspection of premises, how can he ask for additional clarification, information, documents? Because physical inspection of premises needs to be carried out in the presence of the said person. Now before he gives a show cause notice, he has to naturally carry out the physical inspection of premises for him to ask the additional information, clarification and documents. And friends, please understand, he can serve only one show cause notice before he is approving or rejecting. In the first show cause notice, whatever is missing, he'll have to ask that. So friends, now indirectly, please understand, indirectly this officer has got 21 days to physically inspect the premises, because without physically inspecting the premises, neither he can approve it nor he will be in a position to serve a show cause notice. So friends, I'm sure you're able to follow this. Even if you did not follow the last 5 minutes, ignore it, forget it. All that you need to remember is indirect time limit given to the officer. Indirect time limit given to the officer is 21 days from the date of submission of application. In which cases, where Aadhaar authentication fails or where Aadhaar authentication is not opted at all. So no action is equal to deemed approval. Reply to show cause notice. So now show cause notice is given. The applicant has to reply within a period of 7 working days of show cause notice. After the reply comes, the officer has to react within 7 working days of reply to show cause notice. Either he has to approve it or he has to reject it. If he doesn't take any action, it is deemed approval. So friends, we'll stop a moment over here. What is the story so far? The story so far is earlier, prior to amendment, the time limit which was given to the officer was in case of physical inspection where it was required before grant of registration, which means those cases of Aadhaar authentication not opted or Aadhaar authentication opted but failed. Those cases, the physical verification had to be carried out within a period of 60 days from the date of application. And friends, please understand, if you did not carry out the physical inspection within a period of 60 days from the date of application, there was no concept of deemed registration at all. There was no concept of deemed registration at all. That provision was against the assessee, because if the officer is taking his own sweet time, he is not doing any work within a period of 60 days, there is no concept of deemed registration. So unnecessarily the assessee is being harassed, registration is not being granted to him. What's the change, friends? The change is in case where Aadhaar authentication is not opted or Aadhaar authentication is opted but failed, indirectly physical inspection has to be carried out within a period of 21 days from the date of submission of application. Why do I say that? Because within a period of 21 days, the officer has to either approve it. For approving it, he has to carry out the physical inspection, or he has to serve a show cause notice. For serving a show cause notice, for asking for additional clarification, information and documents, also he has to serve a show cause notice. Yes, because without serving a show cause notice, please understand, according to the principles of natural justice, without serving a show cause notice, a rejection order cannot be passed. So if he wants to serve a show cause notice for the purpose of rejection, he has to serve a show cause notice, and if he wants to serve a show cause notice, obviously he has to carry out the physical inspection of premises. So now friends, I'm sure we are clear so far. Now friends, one last discussion in this rule number 9. The most important aspect is, it tells you 21 days. If Aadhaar is not authenticated, show cause notice needs to be served within a period of 21 days from which date? From the date of submission of application. It is 21 days from the date of submission of application. If Aadhaar authentication is done or it is exempted, you either approve it or serve a show cause notice. Here also 21 days is for either approving it or serving a show cause notice. 3 working days is also for either approving it or serving a show cause notice. Now again, it is 3 working days for which cases where Aadhaar authentication is done or it is exempted. 3 working days of date of submission of application. Now friends, here date of submission of application is very, very important. It has got a very special definition. Date of submission of application has got a very special definition. What is that? Friends, please understand, why are we now going to look at date of submission of application? Because the time limit for serving a show cause notice or approving the registration is linked to date of submission of application. Where Aadhaar authentication is done, 3 working days. Aadhaar authentication not done, 21 days. Now friends, what is the date of submission of application? Date of submission of application is not how you and I understand that once you punch in the registration, once you fill the registration, submit it to the portal, that is the date of submission of application. No, it has got a special meaning. Date of submission of application, rule number 8. If Aadhaar authentication is not opted at all, please recollect, we are already discussed what is the procedure for authenticating your Aadhaar. REG01 is a registration form. You will fill in part A, you will fill in part B. In part A, you will give your mobile number, email ID, your PAN will get validated with the PAN database. Part B, you will give the other details and you will submit REG01. Now friends, if you have opted for authentication of Aadhaar, you will be receiving a link. You will be receiving a link wherein you will have to authenticate the Aadhaar. You will press the link, it will show you a page, you will punch in the Aadhaar number. From the Aadhaar database, an OTP will be received to the mobile number registered in Aadhaar database. You will punch in the OTP, your Aadhaar number will get validated. When will this process of you receiving the link will happen? REG01 part A, part B, you say yes, I want to authenticate the Aadhaar, and then you fill or you submit the part B of REG01. Thereafter, you will be receiving a link for authenticating the Aadhaar. Now friends, you press the link, you carry out the validation is successful. The moment the validation is successful, you will receive the acknowledgement of you successfully submitting the GST registration form REG01. You will be receiving an acknowledgement, that is REG02. Now friends, the date on which you receive the acknowledgement, that is the date on which you have submitted the application. The date of submission of application is the date on which you receive the acknowledgement. When are you going to receive the acknowledgement? We are discussing about the first scenario, Aadhaar authentication opted, Aadhaar authentication successful. You will receive it when you are authenticating your Aadhaar. Now friends, REG01 part A, I fill today, part B I fill today, I get the link today itself. But today, when I click the link and I want to validate my Aadhaar, I want to authenticate my Aadhaar, due to network issues, it is not happening. I try it again tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Let's suppose if it is happening on day after tomorrow. Now friends, I made the application today, received the link today, authenticated my Aadhaar after 2 days. After 2 days, that particular date is the date on which I have submitted my application. Because on that day, Aadhaar authentication has happened. Take another example. Now friends, I made an application. I opted for Aadhaar authentication. I received the link. I clicked the link. I punched the Aadhaar number. But only then I got to know that the mobile number which is updated in the Aadhaar database, I am no longer using it. I am no longer receiving any messages in that SIM card. So therefore, naturally OTP will not come. Did I opt for Aadhaar authentication? The answer is yes. But am I in a position to carry it out successfully? The answer is no. So now friends, what do I do? In the Aadhaar database, I make an application for updating my mobile number. I received the link today, but I am not receiving the OTP in that mobile number because I am no longer using that mobile number. I make an application for updating my mobile number. I update the mobile number over there. Is it going to take a few days? The answer is yes. Let's suppose it is taking some 5 days for me to carry out this process. Now the link which I received, I click it again. I punch the Aadhaar number. I get the OTP in my updated mobile number which is now there in the Aadhaar database. I punch the OTP, Aadhaar validation is successful. What is the date on which I have authenticated the Aadhaar? After 5 days. On that date, I am going to receive the acknowledgement. That is the date of submission of application. So friends, what are we trying to discuss? In a case where Aadhaar authentication is opted and it is successful. Aadhaar authentication is opted and it is successful. What is the date of submission of application? Is it the date of submission of part B REG01? The answer is no. It is the date on which Aadhaar is authenticated. In simple terms, the date on which I am receiving an acknowledgement from the portal that yes, your application is submitted, this is your ARN number. That is the date of submission of application. Are we clear with this aspect? Yes. The second one, I opt for Aadhaar authentication. I receive the link. I receive the link as well. I click the link, I punch the Aadhaar number. But friends, when this data which is there in the GST database is being compared with the data which is there in Aadhaar database, there is some mismatch. There is some mismatch. Authentication is not happening. I need to update the details or the data which is there in my Aadhaar database. I make an application. I make an application for updating the Aadhaar database. Is it going to take some time? Yes. Now friends, it is going to take some time, agreed. But how long? Let's suppose if it is taking 2 months, if it is taking 3 months, it is taking 4 months. Till such time, is my application still pending? Because now friends, when I opted for Aadhaar authentication, then the date of submission of application is going to be the date on which Aadhaar is getting authenticated. Only on that date I will be receiving an ARN number. I will be receiving an acknowledgement. The question is friends, how long is this application going to stay in pending mode? Should there be a cutoff date that you selected? Aadhaar authentication, do you opt for it? Yes, I opted for it. You received the link? Yes, I received the link. Should there be a fixed time limit within which you should complete the authentication process? Otherwise, it should be treated as Aadhaar authentication opted but failed. Should there be an outer time limit for this? The answer is yes. There should be an outer time limit for this, and the outer time limit is 15 days. The outer time limit is 15 days. We are discussing about scenario number 2. Aadhaar authentication opted? Yes. Aadhaar authentication successful? No. Successful or failure is always going to be dependent on some time. Otherwise, I will say after 1 year it will be successful. Can the application be pending for 1 long year? The answer is no. So there is going to be a fixed time limit. The fixed time limit is 15 days. I opted for Aadhaar authentication. I received the link. Within a period of 15 days, I have to successfully authenticate my Aadhaar. Go update the PAN database. Go update the Aadhaar database. Wherever you want to go update, you go update. But within a period of 15 days. After the period of 15 days, the moment 15 days expires, it will be treated as Aadhaar authentication opted, failed. Aadhaar authentication opted and failed. So friends, this will be a scenario where Aadhaar authentication is opted, but it is failed. The date of submission of application is going to be 15 days from the date of submission of application part B REG01 when you punched in the portal. From that day, within 15 days, if you are able to successfully authenticate your Aadhaar, fine. Otherwise, on the expiry of this 15 days, you will be receiving an ARN number. You will be receiving an acknowledgement stating Aadhaar authentication is opted, but it is failed, which will invite the officer to your premises for carrying out physical inspection. The application cannot be pending for so long. Are we clear? Yes. Scenario number 1, Aadhaar authentication opted, Aadhaar authentication successful. What is the date of submission of application? The date on which Aadhaar authentication is done. On that date, you will be receiving ARN number, you will be receiving the acknowledgement. Situation number 2, Aadhaar authentication opted, but not successful. What do you mean by not successful? When you can call not successful only when you are freezing some time limit. What is the time limit? Within 15 days. If it is successful, Aadhaar authentication opted, successful, the date on which you authenticate the Aadhaar number, that will be the date of submission of application. Not successful within 15 days, on immediate expiry of 15 days, on the next day, you will be receiving an acknowledgement with the ARN number, Aadhaar authentication opted, but failed, leading to physical verification of premises. Are we clear? Yes. Scenario number 3, I did not even opt for Aadhaar authentication. Am I going to receive any link? No. So therefore, what should be the date of submission of application? The date on which you submit part B REG01. The date on which you submit the application in the form in the portal. You get the application form. Are you opting for Aadhaar authentication? No. Never mind. The date on which you submit it is the date of submission of application. You will receiving the acknowledgement on the same day. You will receive the reference number on the same day itself. That day is going to be treated as the date of submission of application. Friends, why are we discussing so much about date of submission of application? Because friends, the reaction time which is available with the officer is going to be counted from the date of submission of application. Aadhaar authentication opted and successful, or Aadhaar authentication exempted, 3 working days from the date of submission of application. Aadhaar authentication not opted, or Aadhaar authentication opted but failure, reaction time available with the officer, 21 days from the date of submission of application. And that is the reason why we have seen the definition of date of submission of application. What is date of submission of application? I opt for Aadhaar authentication and it is successful. The date of submission of application is the date on which Aadhaar is authenticated. I have opted and it fails. The date of submission of application is 15 days from the date on which I actually submitted the application in the portal. Aadhaar authentication not opted at all, or say Aadhaar authentication is exempted. In that case, the date on which I actually submit REG01, that would be the date of submission of application, the date on which I am receiving the acknowledgement. Friends, in simple terms, what is the date of submission of application? For practical life, the date on which you are receiving ARN number, you are receiving the acknowledgement, that is the date of submission of application. From that date, the reaction time of officer, the countdown starts. If Aadhaar authentication is not opted at all, or if Aadhaar authentication is exempted, it is actual date of submission. If I have opted for Aadhaar authentication, the date of submission of application shall be earlier of date of Aadhaar authentication. This would be when Aadhaar authentication is successful, or 15 days from the submission of Part B REG01, which means when the Aadhaar authentication is not successful within 15 days. At length, we have discussed this. I am sure you are able to follow this. So friends, this is the summary. The summary is, I have opted for Aadhaar authentication and it is authenticated. What is the date of submission of application? It is the date of authentication. Will it invite the officer to my premises prior to granting registration? The answer is no. Aadhaar authentication is opted, but it is failed. What is the date of submission of application? 15 days from the date of submission of Part B REG01. Physical verification prior to grant of registration? Yes. Aadhaar authentication is not opted at all. What is the date of submission of application? Actual date of submission of REG01. Whether physical inspection is required? Yes. Aadhaar authentication is exempted. 25(6)(d). Date of submission of application, actual date of submission of REG01. Whether physical verification is required prior to grant of registration? The answer is no. So friends, by and large, we have discussed the entire change aspect as regards as registration and Aadhaar authentication is concerned. Whatever is left is only few touch up or finishing points which are there. So friends, this is what we have seen. This aspect is very important. If Aadhaar authentication is done or it is exempted, the reaction time available with the officer is 3 working days from the date of submission of application. What is the date of submission of application? If Aadhaar authentication is done, it is the date on which it is done. If it is exempted, it is the date on which the application form was actually submitted in the portal. If Aadhaar is not authenticated, either it is not opted or it is opted but failed. Reaction time available with the officer, this requires physical inspection. Reaction time available with the officer is 21 days of the date of submission of application. Within this time, he has to complete the physical verification. What is the date of submission of application? Aadhaar authentication is not opted at all, the date on which application is actually submitted in the portal. Aadhaar authentication is opted but failed, 15 days from the date of submission of application. On immediately expiry of 15 days, that would be treated as the date of submission of application. Let's take an example, friends. Concepts, we have discussed it entirely. By this example, you will be able to appreciate it in a much better manner. REG Part B submitted on 1st of January. Aadhaar authentication is opted and Aadhaar authentication is successful on 1st of January itself. The date of submission of application is 1st of January. Whether physical verification is required? The answer is no. The reaction time available with the officer, either to serve a show cause notice or to approve it, it is 4th of January. 3 working days. Application submitted 1st January. Aadhaar authentication opted. Aadhaar authentication is successful, but it is successful on 3rd of January. Date of submission of application 3rd January. Physical verification no. Show cause notice or approval. The reaction time available with the officer is 6th of January. 3 working days counted from 3rd of January, from the date of submission of application. 1st January, REG submitted. Aadhaar authentication is opted. Aadhaar authentication fails. Date of Aadhaar authentication not applicable because it is not successful. What is the date of submission of application? 15 days. So 16th of January. Physical verification yes. Show cause notice or approval. The officer has got a reaction time of 21 days. Within this 21 days from 16 January, it ends at 6th February. He has to complete the physical verification. Aadhaar authentication not opted at all. Success failure not applicable. Date of Aadhaar authentication not applicable. Date of submission of application 1st of January itself. The date on which is actually submitting the form in the portal. Physical verification yes. Reaction time available with the officer 21 days from the date of submission of application, which is 22nd of Jan. REG Part B 1st Jan. Aadhaar authentication is exempted. Success failure not applicable. Date of authentication not applicable. Date of submission of application, the actual date on which is submitted in the portal, 1st of January. Physical verification not required. Show cause notice or approval needs to be made within 4th of April, 3 working days from the date of submission of application. I am sure friends, by now, by this chart and by these examples, concept have been synced in your mind. So this is the amendment which we have discussed. So we are closing partly again at this moment. Why did we start all of these discussions? All of these discussions was started because prior to amendment, the reaction time, or prior to amendment, wherever physical verification had to be done, that had to be done within a period of 60 days from the date of application. When was physical inspection required? When Aadhaar authentication is not opted, or it is opted but it fails. Post amendment, there is a change. What is the change? The change is 21 days from the date of submission of application. Indirectly, physical verification has to be completed. Date of submission of application at length we have discussed. Now friends, another change in rule number 9. Small change in rule number 9. What we have seen is, there are cases where Aadhaar authentication is not required at all. That is under 25 subsection 6D, the government can issue a notification exempting certain class of persons from getting their Aadhaar authenticated. One such example is a person who is not a citizen of India. Now friends, rule number 9 creates another scenario where even though a person is not covered by 25/6D, which means is not covered by notification, which means Aadhaar authentication is required. Rule number 9 creates a scenario where a person has not done, a person is actually required to get his Aadhaar authenticated, but he has not got his Aadhaar authentication done. Is physical inspection must? The answer is yes. Still, under rule 9, the proper officer has got powers. The proper officer has got powers to grant registration to him even without physically inspecting his premises, but by verifying certain other documents as the case may be. As the documents are prescribed, he can verify those documents. Even in those cases where physical verification is required, he can still grant the registration without physically inspecting the premises. This discretion is available with the officer. This is the new provision, or this is the new proviso which has been inserted in rule number 9. So friends, rule number 9 provided further that the proper officer may, for reasons to be recorded in writing and with the approval of an officer not below the rank of Joint Commissioner, in lieu of physical verification of the place of business, carry out the verification of such documents as he may deem fit. So friends, what are those cases? In section 25(6)(d), a person can be granted registration without Aadhaar authentication because those persons are exempted from Aadhaar authentication. Proviso to rule number 9. Proviso to rule number 9. This is what the new proviso what we have seen. A person can be granted registration even without getting his Aadhaar authentication done and even without carrying out the physical inspection. Registration after physical verification. A person may be granted registration without authenticating his Aadhaar but after physical verification. So friends, these are the 3 cases where registration can be given without Aadhaar authentication. I repeat, the conclusion of whatever we discussed now is, these are the 3 cases. Please understand the question very, very carefully. These are the 3 cases where registration can be granted even without authentication of Aadhaar. But in these 3 cases itself there is a difference. What is the difference? 25(6)(d), is Aadhaar authentication required? Not required at all. Is the question of physical inspection arise? It doesn't arise at all. So here in 25(6)(d), no Aadhaar authentication, no physical inspection. Is that the discretion of the officer? No, it is the right of the assessee. If assessee is covered by 25(6)(d), neither his Aadhaar needs to be authenticated, nor can the officer come for physical inspection prior to grant of registration. Proviso to rule number 9. Is he required according to section 25? Is he required to get his Aadhaar authenticated? The answer is yes. He is not covered by 25(6)(d). Has the officer got a discretion? Generally, is the physical inspection required? Yes. But has the officer got a discretion to grant registration by verifying certain other documents without carrying out the physical inspection? Yes. The next one is residual case. That is, a person has not got he's required to get his Aadhaar authenticated, and he has not got his Aadhaar authentication done. The officer is also not using his discretion. That fellow tells that I will physically verify your premises, only then grant you registration. In that cases, registration will be after physical verification. So friends, the difference between proviso to rule number 9, the difference between serial number 2 and serial number 3 is, in serial number 2 it is the discretion of the officer. In serial number 3, the officer doesn't exercise his discretion, he comes for physical verification. In rule number 1, no discretion of the officer at all. Aadhaar authentication itself not required. He cannot say, I will come physically verify your premises, only then grant you the registration. I am sure you are able to follow this. So now friends, one last discussion of whatever changes we have discussed so far. This is all about the process of Aadhaar authentication and registration. What have we discussed, friends? We have discussed so far 3 things. 1. In rule number 9, earlier the wordings were only fails to undergo authentication of Aadhaar number, which led to an absurd interpretation. That a person who has not opted for Aadhaar authentication, for him physical inspection is not required at all. But that was not the intention of the law. So therefore, they amended it and they have included or who does not opt for authentication of Aadhaar number. A proviso is being introduced wherein it states that person required to get his Aadhaar authenticated, but still Aadhaar authentication he is not carrying it out. In those cases, the officer, with the permission of an higher officer, he can verify certain other documents and he can grant registration even without physically inspecting his premises. Rule number 25. In case of Aadhaar authentication failure or not opting for Aadhaar number or not opting for Aadhaar authentication, physical verification needs to be done before grant of registration. Here also earlier it was only failure to Aadhaar authentication which led to absurd interpretation. So therefore, not opting for Aadhaar authentication was introduced. Then we had seen the time limit for carrying out the physical inspection was 60 days. The time limit to carry out the physical inspection was 60 days. This time limit has been indirectly cut short to 21 days. But from which date? From the date of submission of application. And friends, the date of submission of application has got a special meaning which we had discussed at length. So this is all about the changes which we have seen in registration process covering Aadhaar authentication.
Subscribe to LearnCap and hit the bell icon to get notified.